Hello student, this is your maths teacher and today here we are going to discuss a new topic which is factorization. So let's see what is the factorization. So student, this is a very important and very interesting topic which is called factorization. So let's understand what do you mean by factorization. The word factorization means we have to break down any polynomial in its simplest form. Just suppose that a polynomial is given as 2xy. Since it is a monomial, but for some time let us consider this is a quantity and we have to break down it into its simplest form. So it can be written as 2 into x into y. So each part of this quantity is called its factors. Then each part, that is 2 comma x and y, are known as factor of 2xy, and the process in which we breaking down a quantity into its simplest form is called factorization. So student, I hope the idea of factorization is clear. Now let's see the another concept of factorization. In numerical form, that is in arithmetic, sometimes we factorize the quantity like 144. A number is 144 and the means of factorization of 144 is that we have to break down 144 into its all the number through which 144 is completely divisible, so that 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 18 36 72 and 144. So these are the factors of 144, and the process through which we find out these factors is called its factorization. Also 144 can be factorized into the prime factor in the form of prime factor. So it can be divided by 2, again divided by so here we can see that these are the prime factors of 144, and in this way 144 can also be factorized into its prime factors, and this method of factorization is called prime factorization. So I hope the idea of factorization is clear. The easy way in which we can explain the factorization is that a quantity can be break down into its simplest form is called factorization. So I hope the factorization is clear. Now let's see the starting question of factorization. Before starting the question, let us understand what is the LCM and HCF. Since as you have studied about LCM, in which we say that the smallest number which can be completely divisible by the given number. What we say? A smallest number which can be completely divisible by a given by some given number is called LCM. I hope it is clear. And what is the HCF? HCF means a greatest number which can completely divide given some number. A greatest number which can completely divides given some numbers. So these are the definition of LCM and HCF. So I hope the LCM and HCF is clear. Now let's see the question. So we start our exercise. And the exercise is 12.1, and the first question is find the greatest common factor of the given monomial. The question is find greatest common greatest common divisor or factors of given monomials. So this is the question, and here given 3m and 6m. The first is 3m and 6m. So this is the question, and we have to find out its greatest common factor. What do you mean by greatest common factor? As I told you that a greatest number which can completely divide some given number. Your given numbers is 3m and 6n, and we have to find out a number through which 3m and 6n can be completely divided. So here, if we divide 3m by 3 and 6n by 3, then we can see that the remainder is 0. Here we get m as a quotient, and here we get 2n as a quotient. But in the both case, remainder is 0, so that we can say that 3 is the greatest common factor. I hope it is clear. So what is the greatest common divisor, greatest common factor? And the greatest common factor is a number which can completely divide the given number, leaving remainder 0. So in the both case, we can say that here 3 is a number which can completely divides 3m and 6n leaving remainder as 0. Therefore this implies 3m divided by 3 we get m, and 6m divided by 3 is equal to 2m. Therefore 3 is the greatest common factor. And I hope the solution is clear. So in this way we can find out the greatest common factor of the given number. So I hope it is clear. Now let us see one more question. Second question is ax and minus 5ab. So this is your question, and we have to find out the greatest common factor. First of all, in this question we have to find out a quantity which is common in both terms. So here in the both quantity we can see that a is the common quantity. Since a is the common quantity, and except a there is only one quantity is common, and that is 1. Okay, here the common factor is 1 and a. Since a is not negative, therefore a is greater than 1. Since both a and 1 is common and a is greater than 1, therefore a is the greatest common factor. Okay, if we check why a is greatest common factor, then we have to divide the both quantities separately by a. If we get remainder as 0, then we can say that a is the greatest common factor. So here let's check, is it possible or not. So here validity, let's check validity. So when ax is divided by a, we get x as a quotient. What is x? X is a quotient. And 0 is the remainder. Therefore we can say that a can completely divide ax. Similarly, if we divide minus 5ab by a, if we divide minus 5ab by a, so we can rewrite minus 5ab divided by a like minus 5ab upon a, and this a become cancelled out and we get minus 5b. This minus 5b is the quotient, and remainder equal to 0. Therefore here a is again the factor of minus 5ab. So in this way we can say that a is the greatest common factor. I hope it is clear. So student, I think in this video you have no any doubt. Either you have any doubt, then you can ask your doubt in the comment section. I will clear your doubt in my next video. So student, we shall meet in the next video with some new question related to factorization. Till then, goodbye.